All right, so Tasha K is back in court, and this time around, it wasn't just her taking the hit. Her attorney ended up in the crossfire too. Here's the background for anyone who needs it. Back in 2022, Tasha K lost a defamation lawsuit brought by Cardi B. A jury determined that Tasha had been deliberately spreading false claims about Cardi, allegations involving sexually transmitted diseases, drug use, and prostitution. The jury handed down a judgment of nearly $4 million against her. Following that verdict, Tasha K filed for bankruptcy, stating she didn't have the funds to cover it. Eventually, both sides negotiated a settlement. Under the terms of that agreement, Tasha would pay approximately $1.2 million over 5 years. In exchange, she was required to sign a non-disparagement agreement, meaning she could not publicly discuss Cardi B, Cardi's family, Offset, Stefon Diggs, or anyone else connected to Cardi on any platform whatsoever. That was the deal. She agreed to it and signed on the dotted line. But here's where it all starts unraveling. Tasha broke that agreement almost immediately after signing it. Cardi's legal team began carefully documenting each violation, and what they discovered was a consistent pattern of post and delete behavior. Tasha would publish content referencing Cardi or someone in her circle. Cardi's attorneys would send a formal notice. Tasha would take the post down and then turn right around and post something else. Cardi's legal team described it publicly as a cat and mouse game. By the time they filed their motion with the court, they had documented more than 25 separate violations. The incident that ultimately pushed things over the edge involved comments Tasha allegedly made about Offset. She reportedly suggested that he was at a casino 5 days a week, that he was gambling with other people's money, and that a certain relationship in his life would likely still be intact if not for his gambling habit. The implication was clear. She was saying Offset would still be with Cardi B if not for that behavior. Tasha's legal team attempted to argue that because Offset is an independent public figure, she should have the right to discuss him freely. Cardi's attorneys shut that argument down immediately, pointing out that Offset was explicitly named in the non-disparagement agreement before Tasha ever put her signature on it. There was no ambiguity. He was listed by name. The court sided with Cardi's team. The ruling required Tasha to cover Cardi's legal fees and to remove all content referencing Offset across every one of her platforms. But it didn't stop there. Tasha's own attorney was also sanctioned, facing a fine along with roughly a 10% penalty. A significant part of why things deteriorated so badly for her legal team came down to a serious allegation from Cardi's attorneys that Tasha's lawyers had submitted case citations in their court filings that didn't actually exist. These were cases that appeared to have been generated by artificial intelligence and had no basis in real legal record. That is an extraordinarily serious problem in any courtroom, and it contributed heavily to the consequences her legal team is now facing. So at this point, both Tasha and her attorney are dealing with court-imposed consequences simultaneously. After all of this came to light, Tasha took to Instagram and tried to address the situation with a lighthearted, unbothered tone, as though none of it was particularly serious. But let's be straightforward about where things actually stand. She is already on a structured payment plan for money she claims she doesn't have. She signed a legal agreement committing to stop discussing Cardi and everyone connected to her. She violated that agreement more than 25 documented times. And now her legal representation is also facing...
Nobody was prepared. It is what it is. Okay, as a chat, listen, I'm used to losing. I said, what happened, Chase? You got fined. I said, who got fined? You did. I was like, then he said, we did. I said, wait a minute, we. Hold up. We both got fined. He said, yeah, I got to pay 10% of your attorney fees. I said, what? I'm used to losing, but I always overcome, okay? What's the solution, brother? Hey, brother, stay with me. Chad was done. He was like, this is gonna be a PR nightmare. I said, what are you talking about? Judge said you can't talk about people, you can't talk about them. You can't do that, take it down, okay? And even my content was on it. My logo was on it, take it down. I said, okay, Chad, I'll take it down, no problem. How much we owe? I don't know, we owe on Monday, but just the order's gonna go in. I was like, oh my God, we lost. We lost the war. But you know what I have?
And to make matters significantly worse, Cardi's legal team has now made their intentions clear. They are no longer pursuing the reduced $1.2 million payment plan. They're going after the full $3.9 million judgment, every cent of the original amount. At some point, the pattern speaks for itself. Tasha K had a negotiated settlement that gave her a manageable path forward. She had a clear set of boundaries laid out in a legally binding agreement, and she chose, repeatedly, to ignore both. So, the question worth putting to you is this. Do you think it's fair that Tasha K is now on the hook for the full $3.9 million instead of the reduced $1.2 million she originally agreed to pay? Given everything that has come out,
K's head top in the courtroom, they are alleging that Tasha K continues to violate the terms of the bankruptcy agreement that she has with Cardi B. And they're saying the only reason that a bankruptcy agreement exists where Tasha K doesn't have to pay the full amount of the $3.9 million immediately is because there was a non-disparagement clause in the agreement that Tasha K could not talk about Cardi B or her family or anyone connected to Cardi B. Now, some of the blogs are already saying that Tasha K lost in court and that it was ruled that she has to pay Cardi B back the full $3.9 million immediately, and that there's a full restraining order that says that Tasha K is not allowed to talk about Cardi B at all. Now, I don't know how true that is, but here's the details of what happened in court. According to Cardi B's team, Tasha K has been using a post and delete model as a way to still directly or indirectly talk about Cardi B and people connected to Cardi B, such as Stefan Diggs and Offset, because they've been in the media lately. They also say that Tasha K signed this agreement knowing that she was going to violate it at the onset of the agreement, and that she posts things and then deletes them, but it's already too late and the damage is already done, and it violates the non-disparagement clause that is in their agreement. Now, I don't know what Tasha K's end goal is in this, but I will keep y'all posted on whether or not she actually lost in court once it is confirmed.
Cardi B now wants Tasha K to pay the full $4 million that she owes her. You got Cardi B taking Tasha K back to court, demanding Tasha K pays the $4 million instead of the amount that they had agreed to after Tasha K filed for bankruptcy. I believe they agreed to Tasha K no longer speaking on Cardi B or anybody close to her. Therefore, they'll lower the amount. Instead of her paying $4 million, she'll be paying less. But Tasha K broke the agreement by talking about Offset, right? Y'all remember the little TJ incident that happened with Offset? Tasha K was talking about that, talking about Offset's gambling problem or whatever like that. So now you got Cardi B saying, look, you're talking about my husband. You broke the agreement. Now I want the whole $4 million. This situation has been going on for years. In my opinion, Cardi B ain't getting paid, right? Cardi B sued Tasha K because Tasha K was running around capping on her, saying she had the sauce. Cardi B told Tasha K, take them videos down, stop talking about me. Tasha K ain't listen. She continued to talk about Cardi B and cap on her. Cardi B sued her. One, she owed Cardi B $4 million. Cardi B still didn't get that money, but now Cardi's like, look, she done playing with her. She needs the full amount.